variety of
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the AK pod. I know it's been a minute, but hopefully you're ready for the hype that is the TheAKwatch, following season 3 of Kaguya-Sama Lovers War. And talking through the events of the 3 episodes with me is my co-host, the usual suspect, Daniel. Talk to them.
Yep, we're back. You didn't think we'd be back for season 3, but we're back.
They're not ready.
TheAKwatch, no longer rewatch, but yeah, we're talking Kage again, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute because we obviously did the rewatch, so of course we had to come back and see the present day antics of Kaguya and the gang, of course. And I think we've been eating good this spring season, like so far.
Yeah, off topic, but there's a lot of good shows that are coming out this season, but obviously Kage is one of them, and we got Spy Family. But yeah, it's definitely one of the better spring seasons that we've seen from an anime perspective anyway.
100. So the format for this episode, we're going to go through the first 3 episodes of Kaguya Lovers War. We're a bit behind. We didn't do it on time as the episode came out, but this is like the quick overview, the catch up, getting our thoughts on each episode, probably spending like 20 minutes on each, hopefully, and then we go from there and see what's happening. So you might as well, if there's anything else, not anything else in your mind, Daniel, we'll just jump into it.
Yeah, let's go.
Lovely. So the first episode, season 3, episode 1, Miko wants to be soothed. What did you think about the episode, my G?
For the first episode, it was like, they kind of eased you back in with the antics, the comedy. Nothing too heavy with like storylines, but just funny jokes. I was laughing a lot. Just this first segment as well with Miko, like it's kind of one of those things where people can. I know this happens to at least one person. You haven't put your headphones in, you're on the bus or the train, and then you just you start blaring out whatever you're listening to. So I was cringing with Ishigami because I know he was trying to help her, but hey man, she doesn't take to him well, so she's very averse to him. But yeah, it was a good episode.
No, likewise. I was like, the whole time I was thinking, this is how we're starting off. This is actually crazy. And just the Miko stare when she just glared at him when she entered the premises. When she entered the office, she was like looking at him like he was some pigeon. Looking at him like he was some speck of dust. Like, why is this guy, this human being in my presence? You know what I mean? And I was just crying. Because obviously I was like, maybe we're going to get a little bit of growth early on. You know what I mean? Maybe we're going to get a little bit of, hospitable nature, kindness, especially with everything that happened in the previous season. But I guess not.
No, just resuming where we left off. And it was just funny when Kaguya, the president, and Chika, they all walk in, and then Ishigami does the sacrifice play for nothing, for no reason. And she just does. Can we just say the things that she's listening to is just okay? What's it? She was listening to
is the affirmation things. That was the wild thing.
Affirmation is the wildest thing. Like, bro. But that kind of plays into she's got low self-esteem. So
yeah,
in a way, it's kind of sad that she has to listen to that stuff to lift herself up. But it's funny to laugh at, but it kind of shows how. These are kind of some of the things that she was using to keep her spirits up when she was going through her trials before she met all the people on the student council, and obviously she had her friend Hosorogi helping her out too.
No, it's true. Like the playlist thing started off so wholesomely. Like you're like, this is actually not going to be too bad. You just started with calm nature music, and then it just kept on escalating. I think my real like gripe with it was like, how can you not notice that your music is playing out loud? Like, how can you be so oblivious to your surroundings? I was shook. I was like, bro, because I would notice. She might have to get her ears checked out. She actually might have to get like go doctors next one of these future episodes just to get, just make sure everything's functioning the right way.
Because the thing is, like, even when you don't plug them in properly, you know it's playing out loud. So how loud does she listen to her music that she can't tell the difference?
This is why she's deaf. She's actually there's probably a thing. Like if we researched and look into the episodes, we would see that she might just be deaf, suffering from loss of hearing or something like that. Because that's actually the only explanation. And like going on to like the words affirmation thing, that was funny to me because first when I watched it, I was like, this is wild. But then like later on that day, I was like, wait, is this really the worst thing? Like, I might have to drop that onto my playlist.
Next up. I mean, it's not really bad. It's just weird. If I was sitting next to someone on the train and they're like, "Oh yeah, you are loved, you're pretty," I'll just be looking at them like, I mean, fair enough, but I wasn't trying to hear that. It's peculiar to say the least.
No, it's true. It's actually true. And I think what stood out more to me, like the most out of this episode, is how Ishigami is like the manliest man. Like he's like the coolest of cool. Like when he struck his pose and decided man was gonna take the fall for her, I was like, Rob, they don't deserve you. Ishigami, they don't deserve you. Ino, even though we know I love Ino, like to the moon and back, forever and ever. I'm a Ino rider, gunshots, everything. I was like, Ishigami is actually the guy. He's actually the dude. And like, bruh, I have to respect that. He stood there and purposely, do you see the animation when he clipped it out and you just hear the clip? Yep. and he stood there and he said, watch me. And it was all for a waste. Like, you're going to see, I have real gripes with the guy who does the voiceover, the commentator, because
the
narrator was given unlawful L's throughout this episode. Unlawful, bro. It was straight wrong, the things he was doing. I was like, that's not an L. And like you see it on, but at the end of this episode, I 100% this was the first L I didn't agree with. Ishigami didn't take it L. You know what I mean? He actually didn't take it L.
Kind of did though, because I mean, he embarrassed himself for no reason. And to be honest, he should have known that she wasn't gonna clock on, because anything he does, Miko's just like, oh, this a waste, man. I don't even want to be in the same room as him, breathe the same oxygen. So he should have already known. He just needs to say things directly, like, yo, your thing is out. Like if he had said it in the beginning, simple, before they come through, then he doesn't need to do the sacrifice play.
100%. It would have all been dealt with. But I guess they like doing everything the hard way, which is
Facts.
Hella wild and hella unnecessary. So moving on to the second part of this great episode, Kaguya doesn't realize, and I think this episode kind of personified why Love is War is so great, because the antics and the stupidness that happen in this whole episode, I was like, how can Kaguya be so naive? Like, obviously we knew from the previous season, it's her first time having a phone, jumping online, and obviously she doesn't understand the etiquette, she doesn't understand the formalities, what things mean. But how can you not know that somebody can see your message when you send it? How can you not know?
I mean, she never used apps before in there. Like, she doesn't know about Line, or I guess it's WhatsApp for us. So she doesn't know about the tech. To be honest, you could blame her bringing her up to speed because she seems like a techno guru. But hey, it was too funny just seeing her so smug. She's saying, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna reply to his message straight away." And then he clocks on and he's like, "Oh, so you read a message and you're just pretending." And then what's it? I feel bad for her. So I can't lie. The way she's like, "Oh yeah, deal with this now. Deal with this immediately, please." If I'm Hayasaka, I'm like, nah, you made your bed, lie in there, man. You have to hold that one, because, bro, you were acting all smug. You don't know how to. You don't even know the technical know-how, and you're trying to act like you're the big man, and it came back to bite her. But
she is so lucky. Like, this was like one of the episodes where I felt like the sections where I felt like Ishigami is always so close to taking a big W, but he's so frazzled and he's never composed enough to like finish the job, because he had her on ropes. Her and obviously the group chat as well, because the antics were happening in the group chat as well, and it was a bit mad. But he had her on ropes. It was actually wild. I was like, okay. But you know Hayasaka, who needs to, every time I say this, her pay needs to keep rising. The zeros needs to keep adding up, because that's not the job description for sure. That's beyond the job description. That's why she's the queen still.
Facts. And I think why I like this segment is because you kind of get to see the guys. I think I said this a lot during the rewatch, but just seeing them actually outside of school, just doing normal stuff.
Yeah.
But just seeing Hayasaka and Kaguya in their home, just getting ready to bed, just chilling, and you kind of see what they're doing outside of the student council things, seeing how, if they actually talk in real life, so to speak, if they're interacting with each other, seeing the interactions. Like, I found it funny when she messaged Chika and Miko, and she aired them, and they knew she aired them, and she's just blasé, and they're like, "Oh, right, she aired me. Does she not like me?"
It was the still was like when they brought up every facial reaction, like one by one, and it was like Ino is having some sort of like existential crisis. She's like, "Raw," and then Chika's just chill as can be, but she's looking like, does she know who I am? Like respect the thing, you know what I mean? Just looking at like she's unbothered, and Ishigami is just there like, wow, this is actually just my normal life, but extended to the group chat. You know what I mean? I think for me, what was wild was definitely the face she gave Hayasaka when she clocks on to what's going on. She's like, wait, you're telling me, Hayasaka, basically you knew this the whole time? Because obviously Hayasaka could have redeemed the situation multitude of times before. Actually, no, I lied. That's actually a lie, because the situation was actually too far gone. But she was like, do I embarrass her now, or does she have to firm the embarrassment later? And low-key, it had to be a later thing.
It had to be, because she was too confident. Is it even like, you know, like you've given a child a balloon, and you know, like, you're gonna have to pop the balloon sooner or later, and you just wait till the very last moment and then you pop it, and you have to deal with the consequences afterwards.
No, 100%. 100%. If there's nothing else on this section, I definitely want to comment on the fact that another unlawful L was given by the narrator to my guy Ishigami. What did he do in this episode to deserve another L? I was so confused. I was like,
he got aired. He got like airtime.
Yeah, but bruh, that means by definition he should be getting an L every episode. But why are they changing the definitions of how we give our L's in this series? Because Ishigami, he got 2 L's in just the 2 parts of the first episode.
Yeah, man, he started the season off with a negative.
Very poor showing.
It's a poor showing.
Hopefully he comes out strong. But we know him. He's a trooper.
Still, don't worry.
He's a trooper.
Exactly.
Okay, so to the next section, Chika wants to battle. So what did you?
I have to say, like my agenda against Chika will continue. The politician's daughter always scheming. Not even one episode. She's already bringing in games, arm wrestling, and she was being rude to Ishigami too. I didn't like that. I'm like, bro, chill on him, man. Not every don's got the muscles.
The slander.
So, exactly. Unnecessary. Man's chilling. You're asking him to lift things and you can lift it yourself. What's your problem, man?
It's
Why
wild.
did you even ask him then?
Facts.
Lazy.
He was actually going out of his way to be helpful. We know he's not that type of individual who's about the physicality. Exactly. Apart from obviously when he joins the cheer crew, but that's a different type of physicality. But he's not about moving stuff like individual. If it's teamwork, he's all about it. Facts. But the slander was unnecessary, and this is what my take on the ongoing Shirogane taking L's and hate in this series so far, with this season 3, the first episode. Ino somehow has transcended the series and is now trying to write and direct. That's the only explanation, because he's never taken this much else. So Ino is definitely in the writing room somewhere trying to, spilling her bias. That's the only option.
It might have to be, because she's onto Ishigami. She's always been onto him, but I'm not done with Chika. I'm not done with her.
Hey, roast Chika.
We're gonna go sequentially anyway. True. She was rude to Ishigami. I didn't like that. That's fine. Obviously, have some pride as a man. Yada, lift the thing. And she did back up her talk. I can lift the thing, so why can't you lift it? You're a man. But then she starts talking about arm wrestling. Now I'm like, okay, this is interesting. This is a game I didn't expect to see from you. So she beats Ishigami. I'm like, okay, fair enough. And then they're doing a tournament with the rest of Dons. And they get to obviously Miko versus Kaguya. Kaguya pammed her quickly. It wasn't even a contest.
Slice of cake. That was too easy.
Exactly. And then we have Shirogane versus Chika. And then Kaguya catches her cheating. So what do I always say, Rachel? Politician's daughter. You can't trust these people.
Oh my
They
days.
just keep giving me more ammunition, more evidence to add to my case that you can't trust these people.
You're not lying.
She is always trying to find the loophole. How can you trust her? She's a snake, bruv. And Ishigami, he embarrassed her. Like last time, he called her out and she was out here looking sheepish. She was ashamed of herself, as she should. How can you introduce the game and always be trying to get one up with your cheating? Just play fair, man. Just play fair. I'm on my knees. Play fair.
Nah, bruh, you actually haven't lied, because you've been flying this flag for a very long time. And it's like, she's a politician and she comes from that lineage. Because the words she said, let's settle this. We need to see who the strongest / weakest is. Then she says, a society that allows the weak to go their lives without being oblivious to the weakest, oblivious to their weakness, needs to be reset. That's wild. That is actually wild. Bruh, do you know I was taken back for words when she said that. She said we have to reset with society. You can't be weak and not know you're weak. You have to be labelled. But problematic.
She's a scary individual, man. I'm telling you. I never trusted her. Ever since it was revealed. She's been snaky and she's snaking again. And now she wants to oppress the weak. uplift the strong.
Facts.
Like we don't have enough of that already.
Aye. Problematic to the extent that is actually unthinkable. And the thing is, because she's packaged like a cute student, like games club knows, like people who know a lot of games and go to games clubs, they're usually nice people. Like, how can you not be a nice person, Chika? And you've been a snake since you tried to snake the team during the election season. Like, from then we knew we couldn't trust you.
Exactly. Yeah, she was doing the sneaky stuff then too. So it's a bit tight. But the main thing in this section, the Kaguya and Shirogane holding hands doing the arm wrestling. Those two are so dumb, man. Like, oh, we're holding hands. I want to enjoy this for as long as possible. Are you serious, man? You guys are what? You're 17, 16, 17, and you're man up, man. You're just holding hands, man. I'm tired of these Japanese dons and these silly this low bar for romance. It's supposed to it's funny, but I'm just like, you guys are being ridiculous now, man. You were standing there for seemingly hours just holding hands.
Bruh.
It's the sweat. You could grow like, a biofilm on between the hands because of how much sweat. Nah, man. These guys need to fix up. Just holding hands, and then she realizes she's holding hands and she slams man into the ground. I'm like, bruh, are you being okay? It's cool. It's well.
But yeah, we know they're tapped. Like, we've been knowing that. I've been saying my agenda has more run towards Kaguya, but I have to understand how implicit Shirogane is in the antics that actually take place. Shirogane, you're a cool dude, like top of the class, president, you're fly, but your antics, and you should actually know better. He doesn't have the same excuse that Kaguya does, being sheltered and not being able to see the world.
He's just poor.
Bro, being poor, you should just know everything. Like, you've seen everything. You know what I mean? Bro, it ain't it.
Yeah. It's tight for him.
It is. Yeah. It's to a point where you're like, everybody kind of knows you guys like each other. And you guys know you like each other. But you just love being ignorant. You just love, like, you love the war. That's what they enjoy. They fetishize the war between who's gonna cave in and reveal their true like love for each other. And this is why they're never getting together. It's gonna be like this forever, man.
Yeah, I guess this is one of those segments that kind of show, I guess, where we are with Kaguya and Shirogane. We both know they like each other. I think they know the other likes each other, but they're just not there yet where they can be confident in sharing their feelings. And we're kind of in this stagnant period where there hasn't really been much progress on either side, but we're still having fun. But one thing I wanted to say before we move on to the next episode is Kaguya being hench is too funny to me.
Aye, bruh. Hella jokes.
Nah, they said she's using a man's bow. I'm like, okay, look at you, Kaguya. I rate you.
She's actually built very differently. Like, her prospects are very high because she can just do everything. She does the academics. She can do the athletics. Like, what can't
and the martial arts too.
And bro, the only thing she can't do is love somebody and tell them that she loves them. That's her only flaw. Which, to be honest, is bad, but it's not bad. But it's bad.
Yeah, she can live without it. So
she can.
She'll be alright.
Nah, she'll be good. She'll definitely be good. Yeah, like you said, transitioning to the episode 2, and the first section is Miyuki Shirogane wants to meditate.
Mediate.
Oh, mediate. Man said, do you know I actually have in my notes written meditate? Bruh.
Nah, they look similar. Don't worry.
Mediate. And I love this section because firstly, like, the bromance, the relationship between the mandem Ishigami and Shirogane, to this day, it still stays strong. And to this day, they still confide in each other, and they still, trying to help each other in any little way they can. And I think the most impressive thing is how you can tell that Shirogane is really himself around Ishigami, and Ishigami is really himself around Shirogane, and they seem so like unproblematic, relaxed. That's the only time in this series that you ever see them not anxious or have any anxiety in their heart. But when you have the other females around, when you have Miko and you have Chika and you have, that's a heart attack. They have mini heart attacks apart from when they're not with each other. So I love seeing that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really enjoyed this first section for this episode, just because seeing the relationship, they kind of mirror each other with Shirogane and Ishigami, with Ino with Osaragi, and I just like the role that Shirogane plays with when he's with Ishigami. He kind of takes on the elder brother role. He's always giving him advice, but also they can play off each other, have banter, kind of act like how boys do. And it's quite I guess interesting to see the way Ishigami kind of lets down his guard with Shirogane, where he's more comfortable. He'll be saying, kind of complaining more, showing more I guess exasperation, like when he's talking about his relationship with Ino. And also that's another thing that mirrors each other. Ino and Ishigami, they're both doing stuff for each other, but the other doesn't actually realize.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny, because if they just came out and said what each other done, it probably changed their relationship drastically. But like, they're too busy trying to do up undercover hero to breach that gap. Because Ishigami, he's done a lot for Ino. Like I think when she was having a bad time, he was the guy who left the flower for her with the poem. And what we got with Ino saying how she was helping with Ishigami, it kind of makes you understand why she's always getting onto Ishigami, because of how much stress he indirectly puts her through. True. And that was something that kind of opened my eyes in this episode, which I appreciated.
No, you're right. I didn't realize how much she actually does. Like, obviously, previous seasons and episodes have gone over the fact that they both look out for each other. But the extent to which Ino's out here, like, fixing up his report cards, dealing with, like, people who have been disgruntled and feel some type of way. She's, like, putting out fires all around Ishigami without Ishigami noticing. Like, obviously, Ishigami does his part, but I feel like, obviously, Ino's part is way more work, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, because, I mean, one of the things she mentioned with when she's talking to the disciplinary head, right? I didn't realize she was getting stick for that, because we already see her getting onto Ishigami, but for her to kind of downplay what Ishigami does so he doesn't get more severe repercussions, kind of speaks to the type of person that Ino is, where even though she doesn't, it's kind of actually weird that she goes out of her way for Ishigami, because I understood when he was being unfairly treated in middle school, but why does she continue to do it, I wonder. I think maybe if we continue with the series, we'll see more. We'll see more about her reasoning, I guess.
Yeah, I'd actually never even thought of it that way, because what is that kind of motivation that's still spurring her on to, to still be heavily involved, especially when they're in such close parameters and contact on a daily basis. Like, at some point you would have thought, and obviously with their interactions, you'd have thought the abrasive nature of their interaction is so much, maybe she would stop. But she's still, to this day, highly motivated to be like, I'm gonna go out of my way to make sure this guy is
Changes.
fine. Facts. He's like, this is kind of like my personal project. I have to make sure it works out. And we know how Ino is.
I can change him.
She's that girl. She's that girl who's like, I can change this trash guy. This guy, he's not good, but I can change him. I see the light. And we can see that throughout kind of the link up between Shirogane and what's Ino's best friend's name? Like, what's her name?
Kobachi Osoragi.
That's it, Kobachi. Like their interaction to try and formulate a plan to help them be more hospitable to each other.
That was funny.
Was so
trash
jokes.
plans, by the way. They were bad plans. They were very bad plans.
Shirogane needs to take the L for that one. Man was shaking in his boots. The worst pans. What was it? What?
The first idea was alright.
That was the only good one.
Was alright. Yeah. The other ideas, like clean each other's ears. Are you mad?
Bro,
I wouldn't do that to someone I'm friends with. Are you crazy?
That like clean your own ears. Like that's your, bruh. You're going way too far. And even like the feeding each other. It's like, what is crazy? That? What's that actually helping? What are we actually doing?
That's not going to make me want to be friends with you. If I don't like you, and the mediator's saying, okay, what I want you to do, I'm gonna make sure you're gonna make a friendship right now. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that spoon. You're gonna put food on that spoon. You're gonna get him to open his mouth. You're gonna put that spoon in his mouth, and you're gonna do it again until the food is gone. That's not working. I'm sorry. I'm not buying what you're selling, bro.
At all.
Take it away.
At all. I would be
like, for trying though.
To be honest, they did both put in some level of effort, but I think that's out of respect to their guardians and their parents who are overseeing their livelihoods. It's like, guys, it's like, we just have to do this because obviously, especially Kobachi, because when we get that line that she has been fighting in Ino's corner for 10 years. 10 years. She needs a holiday. She needs a holiday, my G. Hey, we need to start a GoFundMe for her holiday. She needs to go and relax somewhere, chill, vibes. Take off your glasses. When's the last time she's taken off her glasses? Like, she's probably always on crud, ready.
When she's sleeping, innit?
Even then, she's on call, ready for Ino's nonsense. You know, the midnight on the midnight messages, the midnight antics. Ino be like, "Hey, what you doing? Hey, let's go."
Justice don't sleep. Innit? Justice doesn't sleep.
For facts, and you know her. She's all about justice. She's all about morals, high grounds, low grounds, all the grounds. She covers them all. That's a lot of running.
But she's right there with her, and I just like how because of her breadth of experience, she knew what to say to get these two to kind of quasi get along. Facts. And that whole scene, that scene was just too funny. Just the way it's like, yes, we're getting along, and they just had the robot filter over their voice. That was too funny.
They actually got patterned like so quickly and so swiftly. I was like, wow. She slapped on that reverse Uno card, the reverse psychology. Slapped it out. And they patterned up real quick. All the compliments that they could not find, suddenly they were just appearing in their mouths like bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean?
But do you think, I reckon there is truth behind that. If you normally in these shows, there are people who don't like each other. They do actually like each other. So I don't know, man. I feel like we're gonna keep going down this road, between Miko and Ishigami. They're both first years as well. So clearly something's gonna happen later down the line. That's what I think anyway. But we'll see. We'll have to see, because right now I find it weird how Ino couldn't say anything nice about Ishigami at all.
She was struggling. Like, actually lost.
I respect the honesty though. What?
She didn't even want to tell one lie. I was like, wow, sometimes you just have to be like, yeah, like, I really like how you deal with people. Just have to do some next general one, you know, just slap it out there. And she,
you know, them vague ones,
you know, them
all
ones.
encompassing.
Yes, fam, the ones that you can legit cover every individual on the planet with, you know, because at some point they have showcased this quality.
I like your uniform. I mean, everyone's wearing it, but I hear it.
Facts. It's like the way it just fits you, innit? It's just it hits different. It actually hits different.
It drops. Hey, that drops, you know.
So, raw. Is that how you eat your lunch, bro? The sophistication. I've never seen anybody eat like that. It's classy.
Yes, sir. But onto the next one. What's the next one for us?
Jump to the part. Kaguya wants to distract him. So we're gonna try and move efficiently through this one, but this was probably the most kind of eventful because of how many things was happening during the episodes regarding being in school, then being out of school, then other antics at the end. But let's just start from the kind of communication, because obviously it's not even miscommunication. It's just that Shirogana's friends, they know that if they said we're just meeting up with some girls, we're just trying to do it, he's not coming.
Yep.
They know he's not coming. So they have to, group networking, educational, future. We're trying to be better. We're trying to be the leaders of tomorrow. You know, spitting bars. You know what I mean? This is where the next generation of great leaders are gonna come from. They were the WAS they were chatting. Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Brazy. Man, but it worked
for him, you know.
Did you?
I feel. I mean, group networking. I mean, surely this guy. You know, I'm not even gonna say surely because I doubt. In his position, he came from outside the school, so dons don't even like him anyway.
True.
He doesn't really have that much. Maybe he hasn't had that many opportunities or social interactions for him to actually experience something like that.
Yeah. And
he's normally always working anyway, so I feel like he was like, okay, cool, they're inviting me out. Normally I say no, but let me just indulge them this one time so I can kind of get off for the next few times if I'm gonna reject them.
Yeah.
And like they caught him in the trap. They said, yep, got him. Now the goals are confirmed.
Hey, it was so smooth because there was no moment when you saw any doubt in his mind. It was like, we're going to this. So smooth. And then you just see what's it called? Kaguya, unaware, oblivious to the settings.
See, Hayasaka talks too much, you know.
She does, but I love her.
She gets herself into trouble.
She does. She actually can't complain because most of the antics in some way involved her negligence or her overstepping what information she should give. Because in either way, in some situation, if she didn't say anything, it's fine. In other situations, if she said something, that's when it becomes fine. Hayasaka was like, hey, you know they're just trying to link gal. You know they're just trying to, this is one of those settings where you meet a potential link, you know what I mean? A sneaky one. And she was like,
yes, sir.
What? She's like, we have to stop this. How do we stop this?
You know what they have to do? Send in Air Hayasaka. Man, Hayasaka, she's doing overtime, man. Like it's not fair. It's not fair. She doesn't deserve this treatment. Why is she just being deployed like a tactical nuke, man? It's not fair. I felt so bad for her because Hayasaka said to her, "Oh, are you just gonna? If you go, are you just gonna throw yourself to the to the hungry wolves or something?" And then Kaguya, without blinking, it's like, "Oh, yep, you're going in there." Wow. I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But I think this episode or this part was good because it kind of showed Hayasaka being a bit more honest and not just the whole, maid mode thing we see when she was talking about she wasn't saying it directly, but she was talking about Kaguya, saying about, oh yeah, she's selfish and she doesn't really care,
Yeah.
and she always makes me do this stuff. And I was like, okay, now we're kind of seeing what you really think about some of the stuff she puts you through. And it's kind of, it was good, because obviously we've seen Hayasaka in small bits and pieces. I think the most we saw from her was in that episode when she was trying to seduce Shirogane, and obviously this week was that episode 2 was a continuation of that.
Yeah.
And I think it was good to have her interact with Shirogane without Kaguya being there, but I think most of the times they have interacted, Kaguya wasn't actually there. So it was nice. It's just nice to see these two interact, two characters that normally are quite not normally are separate from each other, and now we're seeing like what the dynamic is with them. And before I hand it over to you, I have to say that guy who was trying to move to her, mad creepy, no, what's it? No game, just trying to forcefulness. I'm like, bro, there's other people there. So if you were even trying to hold her down and do stuff, like, they're gonna stop you if they have moves. Have sense, my friend.
Bro, the vibes I got, it was actually disgusting. Like, bro, I was like, man,
creepy.
Fast himself onto her. He was moving towards, said, I broke up my girlfriend recently. I see you broken up. Let's have a broke up party. Like, I'm like, my friend, just move yourself.
We good.
Like, you're good. You're fine. Just go and actually go home. Go to bed, read a book, educate yourself. You're not ready because you don't have the, you don't have the skills, the skill set. You can't be a creep, my G. Behave yourself. Nah, that was definitely shocking. But obviously,
that was very bad.
Shirogane saved the day, came in clutch. I think before I move on to that, I do want to add on to what you said. Just came back to my head. I agree with everything you said regarding Hayasaka. It just shows we've just seen a very different aspect to her, especially in this scene where when she's not attached to Kaguya, you definitely get the sense that there's real depth in her character. When she was talking about being fake to be loved, not being, not revealing your true, character, your true self, and that, you have to be fake to be loved, or you have to lie to be loved. People can't really know everything that you truly are. I was like, bruh, I hope you don't believe that. You just be yourself. And then she really slapped it on Shirogane, because Shirogane obviously being the prez and just being that guy, he was like, that's not true. But then she said, okay, then show me the real you. Right now, can you even show me the real, you know what I mean? And I just thought that was
that's heavy, man.
It was very heavy, and you could tell that Shirogane was just deep in it. It's like, raw. In some aspects, he's like, I see what you're saying. And obviously, in other aspects, he's like, oh, I don't agree with it. But I see it. But it was definitely a deep, and I would love to get more moments where we just really see Hayasaka's nature and her character and just more stuff about her.
I think we're probably gonna get that, because especially with that line about how people can't be loved unless they put on a mask. I think that's definitely gonna be touched upon later on in the series, I reckon, because I just think we're just gonna dive into Hayasaka as a whole, because of during the sports festival arc we had this it was kind of like a gag scene, but they had Hayasaka and she was looking for her, I guess, her parent, and she was kind of upset. And I feel that's something that's gonna come up again, because of I feel like it's connected to the lines, how what she was talking about with not being able to show her true face. Maybe she doesn't have a great relationship with her family, her parents, obviously because of the whole dynamic.
Yeah,
I'm assuming she doesn't really get to hang out with them because she's always with Kaguya. Maybe because of the way their family is with the Shinomias, they basically don't really spend that much time. They don't form a relationship with their kids. I don't know, but I feel definitely we're gonna learn more about Hayasaka. Maybe even this season. I don't know, but because I feel this episode especially kind of really opened her up in terms of like learning more about how she thinks and what she thinks too.
Yeah, 100%. And we definitely need that. And obviously, as the series progresses, we know how great this series is. And obviously, I haven't touched the manga, but they have to go into like the broader aspects of other people, other characters that are actually involved in the series, just to keep it fresh and entertaining. Because it can't be the same. Yeah. Can't be the same old all the time. Like,
I agree with you.
Yeah, and obviously that kind of moved on to Shirogane saving the day, and then Hayasaka trying to slap the game on. And I like this because it was revenge season. She said
she's petty.
She is very petty, but she said it's now time. She's like, you gave me permission. Come do something about it. Come do something about it, Kaguya, if you really want to.
I'm not gonna lie, Kaguya was moving a bit mad in this. What's it? Kaguya wants to distract him. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
She was moving crazy. She's on the roof. She's got the beanie hat in all black. I'm just thinking, Cole, what are you doing, man? We've got to do better. Please. But I just found it so funny that Hayasaka's that's been burning her. Like, she's thinking, I just need more time. Don't worry, I can make this work. I'll fulfill your orders. I'm gonna make this work. We'll go to our private room.
So I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
She got her. Kaguya, a schemer. She tried to make it work. She called up Chika, her girl.
I love how I love how Chika's ride or die came straight away.
I lie. She's like, oh, Kaguya wants to do karaoke. And obviously, Chika knew Kaguya when she was still doing up, like the one face cold Kaguya when she was the ice queen. So for her Kaguya to ask her to go to karaoke, and Kaguya's not even supposed to be in the karaoke place because they said she was saying, oh yeah, I'm not allowed to do that kind of stuff, the group dates and all that. So I was like, oh raw. But yeah, so that kind of shows how she's I guess more open to doing more things compared to what she was like before. So Chika's like, oh wow, I need to capitalize on this opportunity. But unfortunately, it wasn't for the actual karaoke reasons. It was more scheming.
It was proper scheming. I felt sorry for Chika because obviously Kaguya was misinterpreting and understanding the sounds that were coming out of that room. And obviously
suspect sounds.
Very suspect because the words that were being said, the language being used, the tone. Hey, Kaguya was frazzled. She said it's too late. And I love how she was going through. She was like, how quickly, what can I think of? Oh, let me put on my glasses, my mask. Wait, I'm not a stalker. Then she's like, wait, fire alarm. Can I pull the fire cord? Nah, get Chika. Then she called Chika. But I was like, you know that anything you do is going to be too late. Actually, it was already too late.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, this is one of the things that comes back to bite Kaguya. She's always trying to do just scheming, and then when the scheme gets out of control, she has to just, I guess, rely on luck for it to fall back into her favor, because that could have gone very left quickly.
Easy.
I mean, obviously, it was never gonna be what she was thinking, but she just needs to, this was a reality check. She has to stay calm sometimes, take it, not go so hard with these advanced schemes. You need to treat the people around you better, because Hayasaka, she goes through a lot. Obviously, she loves you as a sister, as a employer, I guess, but
yeah.
She's a person too. She's her own person too. And I feel half of it was, oh yeah, I want to fulfill your order. And half of it's, I think she even said it in the car when they were on their way back. oh yeah, I was trying to get back at you because I'm jealous at you having all this fun and then you're making me do the dirty work. So, keep your eyes peeled, Kaguya, man.
Yeah, man. You like understand your true feelings. Understand that if you're going to this extent, maybe it's time to pattern up, and send a lovely text, a meetup text. So let's meet up. I need to talk to you. I need to tell you I love you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because
Yes,
if you can't handle these kind of antics, it can only get worse from here, Kaguya. Like every day you guys grow older, it can only get worse from here. You might as well pattern up and just reveal it to.
And I have to say, I found it very funny when Chika came, and then Hayasaka was like, "Oh, his singing his rapping is so bad," and Chika was like, she just got PTSD from trying to teach him to sing. I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't even blame you for trying to get out of there. She suffered enough.
The flashback, like people who are listening to us or watching this on YouTube, you've already seen it in the intro, so you know that singing was ridiculous. So imagine like the PTSD Chika is going through. Her face, she was horrified. She said, "Nah, I'm not doing that ever again. Bun this karaoke session. I'm going home."
She had to do the digital dash. She can't suffer through that again. Because if she has to teach man how to rap, I think she's not surviving through that one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's actually game over for her. Proper game over for her. So moving on to the last episode 3, the catch up.
Yes, sir.
Nearly complete with the first. Oh, I will go through this so nicely. So the title, Nagisa Kashiwagi wants to kill. And toxic. This is what
Kashiwagi is tapped.
It was toxic. It was the most toxic I've seen in a hot second in any series that is animated or with actual actors. Boyfriend troubles, came to them, sat them down like she had issues. You had no issues. Your issues is that you didn't talk. But all the antics, I don't even know where to start. I don't actually know where to start. Like,
yeah. Well, you see, I don't know. Rajal was a big Miko Ino fan. I was, one would say, lukewarm on her. But I have to say, the sympathy I felt for Ino, poor Miko Ino. She was she's the only rational person in the vicinity. You know, there's something wrong with the individuals who are gathering there.
100%.
Because the words that were coming out of this girl's mouth, and Kaguya was backing her. I was looking at Kaguya like, bro, what's wrong with you, my friend? What's it? What's the first accusation? He's cheating. Why do you think he's cheating? Oh, I saw him talking to another girl in the hallway.
And Kaguya said yes.
She co-signed it immediately. Rightfully so, is saying, "Are you sure?" I mean, and they got onto her. That's your junior. You're supposed to be looking after her. And you're out here disparaging her, making her feel smaller than she is. She even had to when she resorted back to the words of affirmation.
Oh my days! I was crying. I was actually in tears.
They're bad, They're bad. They're so bad.
It was criminal. It was actually criminal what they did to her. She did not deserve that.
Criminal is hiring a private detective to follow your man around. Hey, please, God, if you're listening, don't ever give me a wife like that. Please,
that was wild. Wait, okay. We're just gonna right now. We're just gonna go through the procedure. This was it. So obviously they're sitting down. They've clowned Ino for the talking and cheating part. Secondly, she said, "Okay, we were at a restaurant. He wasn't there. I went through his phone. I saw the password because I just looked at his hand and saw the movements, and then I was able to relay that, and I understood that I could also now access his phone. So I looked, and then, she rapped it out that smoothly. That's what it was like that, but obviously in Japanese, it was so smooth. And then you have Kaguya co-signed it instantly. She's like, yeah, of course. She was like, I praise your due diligence. I praise your effort to, try and understand the situation, entering his password. And it was like, I like your resourcefulness. And I was looking at my screen like, you're wild. And Ino's there like,
finished individuals.
Bruh. The tapness that was on show. And then when it escalated to, like you said, the hiring private detective, the specific line was, because obviously she had found zero evidence on his phone. So with the with the specific line that got me with the private detective, when she said, I wanted to make sure that I had proof that he wasn't doing it. In a way, like, I was doing it for his benefit because I wanted to prove that he was not cheating because he's a good guy. And I cried.
It's crazy.
That's
crazy.
That's when I was finished.
They have money to waste, you know. They have money to waste. Do you think that's cheap?
Of course it's not. They're balling. They're balling.
Nah, that's crazy, bro. It's crazy. I can't lie. It's insane to me. It's insane. It's actually insane because just the whole optics of this situation of oh yeah, I hired him to prove that he's a good boyfriend and he's not cheating on me, and then Kagi was like, yeah, that's only natural.
It's only natural. Bam.
Oh, these two, oh my days, they were going back to back, you know, finishing each other's sentences. I was like, whoa, these guys are too in sync.
It was effortless. It was like they looked at Ino like, why can't you understand how seamless our logic is? Why can't you be on the wavelength that we are to understand that everything that's happening, all of the things that preceded, is just the natural, progression. And they're like, Rod, there's nothing natural about this. All of you are tapped.
Nah, she's crazy still. And then the only reason Kaguya disputes it is because since the president went into that private booth with Hayasaka, and then Ino's like, oh yeah, you want karaoke with her? He might be cheating then. And I'm not even gonna get onto Ino because that has credence to it. She was backing her thing up.
She was.
And then Kagi was like, no, it's not true. I'm like, bro, stay calm, man. But my man boss case
so easily.
And then they were doing up French kissing in the hallway.
Oh my days.
Stay calm, man. We need to stay calm.
We're on the school premises. Like the way they had to shoot that animate that in a way that kind of it wasn't too much for us, because bro, I wasn't ready.
I'm not trying to see that.
I was
no tongue tennis for me, man,
at all. I don't want to see that relay. I don't want to see that. I don't need that in my life. Oh my days.
We need to acknowledge something, Kajal.
Tell me, G. Tell me.
Home record, Maki Shijo. She said, I recommended him the heart necklace because it was lame.
Bro.
Home record.
No, we can't. There are too many trash people in that school. There's actually too many. Maybe that's one of the, the things you need. The categories you have to hit. Do you have some form of trashness in your life? Because the antics, she really was trying.
Home record.
I have no sympathy. I can't comprehend. There's other mandem in that school. Like, I know they're not prominent, but there's other man. Just go and find somebody else, man. Jesus.
Exactly. But I'm happy we got to get introduced to this girl because I don't know if you noticed, but like anytime we saw Kashiwagi with her man, she was always in the background.
That's true.
Just lurking. So it's about time we see what this girl's about. So obviously in the next section,
you might as well just let's start the section. Is Maki? How do you pronounce the second name? Like Shijo wants to take action.
Hey, yeah, this was a very it was a funny segment, but it was also informative. We found out that she's the second cousin, twice removed, of Kaguya. So that's quite interesting.
She's
that's
a branch
big information.
Branch family, Hyuga. That's what I thought of. They're ready to sacrifice her if needed.
Oh, bruh. Nah, you're silly, man.
Fam, that's the vibes I got. It was the Hyuga family clan thing. Second removed, you're not the main branch. You have the bloodline, but you're not quite it.
Hey, man. Nah, I think just going on to this is like at the end, but just seeing their interaction, Kaguya and Maki, is so obviously they know each other.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seems like there's some animosity between these two. So I'm very interested to see what's moving forward, what interactions we're gonna see, because she was like, oh yeah, hey auntie, on a Killmonger vibe.
Oh,
I'm like,
facts.
why are you calling her auntie?
Facts.
Stay calm.
Like, chill, relax.
And I just think it's so interesting how similar her and the mannerisms between her and Kaguya are. And even from the tsundere tendencies where she's talking about the Shirogane and Ishigami, nah, I don't like him or anything, but if you were to come up to me and ask me out, I wouldn't mind. I'm like, bro, you guys are just, you've got the same flow right now. It's kind of crazy.
Do you think it's a family thing? Just the way they're brought up, so that connection really, they all have similar kind of traits when it comes to certain aspects of their lives?
It might be because of the way the Shinomiya family is, where it seems like they're brought up to believe they are the best of the best, the top pedigree, if you will. So they're thinking any person they go for is technically below them, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So maybe it's hard for them to even rationalize, oh yeah, am I really gonna stoop down? It's not really me stooping down, it's me allowing them to step up and be with me.
That's so wild.
So that's where they get that mindset.
Yeah.
That's just my headcanon.
No, I have to kind of agree with that flow, because just the way, like, mannerism, the way they talk, communicate, some aspects of the little bit of like her life philosophy and ideologies, they're so alike. It's actually crazy. They're legit the same person. And I do really like that it's not just like a tight-knit family or extended family dynamic. It's like, oh, there's certain frictions, there's certain, things that maybe they haven't talking about, that's like family relations, and you don't know how far that stretches back. If it's like grandparents, great-great-grandparents, you don't know their history. So it's just so interesting. Hopefully, I'm definitely very sure, I think maybe I was listening to a podcast somewhere, it's like we're gonna get some sort of like family reveal or revelation in the series at some point, which will be so sick.
Yeah, and just like expanding off that, that's obviously now we're seeing they're slowly unraveling that mystery of what Kaguya's family is, because we didn't even know that she had any other relatives in the school. It never really crossed my mind that they would have, other relatives, and it would be this girl who's been hanging out in the background, kind of spying on the other people's relationship. But when she says, yeah, I'm a Shinomiya, and then she kind of gets this air of around her. You kind of get this royal, boss presence. So you kind of feel like she's on a different level now. Yeah. Kind of the atmosphere around her changed. So I'm kind of happy that we're starting to see more people in her family, and we're kind of seeing how big her family are. Because if she's got branch families, how many branch families are there going to be? Oh my
days. And how many actually go to the school? Which would be crazy. Because when you actually deep it, following what you said, when you think of like real life, really prominent families and wealthy families, they do generally go to the same school. And you
Yeah.
don't know if they have a lineage in that school. So maybe their parents went to that school or their grandparents could. You know, when it's like the school is their kind of heritage or plays a big part in aspects of their family. You know, people are proud. Like, this is the school I went to. This is the same school my mum and my dad and my grandparents went to. So, like, it opens the door to a lot of possibilities regarding that.
I agree. And then just before, I guess like the funny part of this episode, just the interaction between Shirogane, Ishigami, and Maki. It was pretty entertaining just to see these guys interact. And she's like, and then Ishigami, he was just so, I guess, blunt. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're cute," and then she starts blushing and everything. And then I liked how at the end, Shirogane is like, "Oh yeah, I can't say I thought she was cute because she reminded me of you." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's
I
nice.
understand." Yeah, it was very sweet.
I think that's what they were trying to. Maybe that was what they were trying to go for. Maybe it's not that they're similar. It's just that actually no, it is that they're similar and that they have the similar tendencies. That's probably why Shirogane was so, I guess, taken to her.
Yeah.
And they agreed to help homewreck. So,
so you're saying it's suspect?
Yeah. What does what's it, Backrow G say? He says what's it? Women are treacherous, bruv. They really are.
No, it's true. Like you just never know. You actually just never know.
Can't trust them because she what's it? What's the word? Coerced them, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not the one I'm thinking of, but she basically got them to help her break up a relationship which is going 6 months strong. And Shirogane even helped set it up as well. She was like, "Oh, if it wasn't for that wall slam." You see how they're connecting the films from season 1 to even now?
So smooth. As actually like ridiculously smooth. That's like the magic of the show. Like the ability to have like intriguing storylines and, you know, package it in the layout they do through an episode, but still like connect everything together.
And even the way Ishigami was calling her out for being too passive, and then Shirogane is like, "Oh, it feels like he's talking to me," because they're basically doing the same thing. "Oh, I'm waiting for him to confess to me." No, that's not how life works. You need to take action sometimes if you want it done.
Pull up. You have to pull up. Do your thing.
Facts. Well, hey man, we'll see how this Maki what's it called? This Maki plotline goes, because I'm quite interested to see if they're actually going to help homework.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that. You know, we'll definitely see. So moving on to the last section, Miyuki wants to be believed. And
I believe.
Mine pulled out into song. But like this is the part when I actually felt sorry for him, because seeing that man was actually forced into a group date, all this shit. Do you know, in that section we have to understand that Shirogane was actually a victim.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He was actually a victim, and this actually like translated throughout, whether it was the same day or the next day, because just that fact that it was playing on his mind, and he was like, how do I now interact with people, knowing that, do they know, did they see, do you know what I mean? Like he was definitely overthinking.
Yeah, because it seems like it's going around the school the way he seems worried that Kaguya is going to overhear, and especially because people have misconstrued him leaving with Hayasaka as him, and they're like, "Oh, she was the best looking girl in the room."
Yeah.
So the way it probably looks is, "Oh, we invited this guy who normally never comes. He comes and bags the best babe in the group." And kind of, that's obvious, and he's the president of the school, so that's obviously going to make its round in the rumor mill.
No, it's true. You can definitely tell that he doesn't like the spotlight like that. He's not an individual who he wants to be he likes having all the responsibilities, but he's not an individual who likes to be the guy who's shining or the center of attention or center of conversation. And he wants people to understand like the truth of what happened, like the events that took place. He wants you not to like follow the rumor treadmill, the rumor, just understand this is actually the reality of what happened. So I think that's what was really making him anxious. And when Chika comes up with another game, I feel like Chika has a game for everything. I think I said this before.
The
but
10 yen game.
This game is dangerous. This game, hey bro, this game is actually like expose yourself, but also you hope that a lot of people expose themselves as well during the questioning, so they know it could be you, but it could not be you. But if you guess, most likely it's you. You know what I mean?
And Kaguya kind of showed if you're eagle-eyed, you can work out who's picking what.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be unknown, but you need if you're smart about it, you're known. So it's very interesting. It was I've said that word too much today, but it was good. This was one of the games where I wasn't angry at Chika. I enjoyed it. I found it quite funny.
Don't forget that she pulled up a lie detector before you even start your game team.
She's too extra, man. She's too extra. How could she say, "Oh yeah, if you lie, if we think you're lying, we're gonna verify," and then you're gonna be embarrassed, bro?
It was wild. I was like, how did she have a polygraph reader? Just easy access. And it wasn't like one of those.
What do you mean how?
It wasn't fake. Okay, yeah, we actually do. We know her family be interrogating people. The parliamenting
people so they can get votes, man.
100%.
We got you on record saying this, and we got the lie detector to verify as well.
Hey, their family stays scheming. Their family stays. Well, we actually, more importantly, need the Chika family reveal, because
We've seen the sisters and the dad. I don't know if we've seen the mum yet.
We need to see the mum. Actually, need to see the mum.
We do. We definitely do.
Yeah, carrying on with the games. What did you think?
I think the first question from Chika was this classic Chika. Who do you like? Do you like anyone?
Yeah.
I was just like, bro, is it gonna turn into one of these? And then from there it was in the questions, I guess, reflected what some of the inner, just like what the characters themselves, I guess, think about a lot. Ishigami, he was saying, "Oh yeah, do you guys actually like me?"
Yeah,
because obviously we saw in the last season what he was dealing with in middle school. And then Ino, again, we saw last season some of the issues that she was dealing with, the insecurities with people making fun of her because she's a bit too serious, and if she's actually being valued because like obviously she hasn't really been around this group for too long, so she's feeling that insecurity.
Yeah.
And then Kaguya, schemer, top schemer, and
Number
then
one
Shirogane
schemer.
was coming with the exactly. And Shirogane coming with the counter scheme as always. But I think the game was a good game. It was actually kind of wholesome compared to some of the other games that Chika has brought. This is it might be one of my favorite games that we've seen from that Chika has introduced to us. Obviously, you had the balloon one, which was hilarious, and the marriage game where Kage was getting triggered. But yeah, this was a good game, and the answers are going to be good moving forward, because at the end of the episode, Chika was like, "Oh, who does Kaguya like?" Because obviously she was cheating as always, and she's like, "Oh, okay, Kaguya likes someone." That's definitely gonna get touched upon later.
Yeah. I loved when Chika was looking at everybody. She's looking at it's like, who likes who? Is it Ino? Is it? Does she like Ino? Is it? Is it?
Yeah, because it was
Is
three.
it go? Yeah, it was
people.
three. It was three people. So like,
So Kaguya, Shogane, and either Ishigami, Miko, or Chika, I guess.
yeah, and that's why this game is
Interesting.
dangerous, isn't it? Because it's depending on how many. The more people who like have the same answer, the worse it is, because the odds are like it's one of you guys.
Deduce it.
Yeah, it's like it's easy to deduce. But yeah, that was anything eventful, any more eventful stuff regarding this section, apart from Kaguya being a genius, but also Shirogane, also like you said,
yeah, that was quick thinking
plays
for him to do that. But I guess because if three people were cheating, Ishigami, Chika, and Kaguya, they all admitted to cheating.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what questions they cheated on, because I know Chika obviously cheated on the first question. And then the thing is, one thing that confused me was when it was Ishigami's turn and they said like three people was face up and then one person wasn't, and it looked like I feel like Chika kind of messed up the results there because of like what she did.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure. It's a bit unclear to me. I might have to read into it later. But aside from that, it was pretty straightforward section. I think that bit with Chika at the end will be interesting going forward. But yeah, it was a good episode. All three good episodes to start the season strong. So we're looking forward to number 4 this weekend.
Yeah, definitely quality episode. So rounding up, really enjoyed this session. Soon come that we'll be doing the rest. Obviously, it will be one episode at a time after this because we just had to make sure we got the catch up done. Any last words before we close the thing?
Yeah, it's fun to talk Kaguya again. It's a good show. It's one of the few shows that we actually properly discuss on here, so it's always a good time. I'm looking forward to this season. So you'll be hearing from us more regularly. Maybe we'll put this on the. Do you reckon we'll put this on Spotify? You can put it on Spotify for
Yeah,
them.
we'll probably put it.
So,
definitely we'll probably put it on Spotify.
So you can listen offline or on YouTube. So yeah, you'll be hearing from us, and obviously the podcast is going to be there as well. But yeah, that's all from me. I'll be out.
Likewise, yeah, you guys appreciate listening to us and sticking with us, and I hope you enjoyed season 3 opener of the TheAKwatch. More to come, and we'll catch you in a bit. Peace.
Bye.
I love you.